Hi, Blue. Welcome to Late Night with Kettle Kitchen. We're glad you're here. Let's go ahead and get started. Hi, friend. How are you?
Good morning. Did you hit live before or after I came back?
You were already sat down. And I hit live when you said I can't believe it's June already. Poof, we went live.
Okay.
I would never do it while you're transitioning or not there intentionally, okay?
Nobody needs to see that.
Hello, everybody. We're back.
Hi.
There's a lot of things going on in my world. There's a lot of things going on in Blue's world, and
yes,
sometimes those things overlap. Sometimes they're totally separate. But internet and old age body damage catches up to you, and other things. So
yeah.
I apologize for any inconvenience it's created to anybody. I don't want anybody upset about it. Hopefully you all still love us, but we're here. Yeah. And we're in good moods and we're ready to chat. We're ready to chit chat and talk a lot, I think is what I was trying to say, but it didn't come out that way.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I still have internet issues. It is what it is. So if I glitchy, I burp, I blunder, it is what it is.
We had major solar storms last night, so if mine goes down, mine will be the first to go down.
Okay.
Okay, so
yeah. Mine's supposed to be active starting tonight, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so I want to say hi to everybody that is in here because they took the time to come see us again.
Yeah, so, hello.
Yeah, Xander, Dark Lord Menet has made it in. He's still in here.
He's still here.
A Pinch of Sweet. Oh, that's a new channel to us. But it's not.
No, because there's Stephanie.
That's Miss Stephanie from Stephanie Harriet. Diabetic large family cooking. So
yeah.
She has changed her name and it's a great name and I love it. So there you go. Let's go ahead and go on down the line. Boy, they did a lot of chitty chatty, didn't they? Lori, prepping for heaven, is here.
Hello.
Yes, I'm still having internet problems, but we're here. That's not stopping us tonight. Rena LaRue, I hope you're doing well. Annette, if you have to go for a birthday party, sister, then go for a birthday party. Thank you for stopping in. We love you. And we'll see you on the next one. Lindy Oki, hello. Thank you for coming in. Oh, I thought I seen a different one in there. I guess I didn't. Okay. There you go. Yes, I do agree with you, Annette. That is really, that sums it up right there. And here's my take on it and what I've through the education of fellow friends and content creators and family, I've been scorned, educated, beaten within an inch of my life that if I don't start taking care of myself, who's going to be around to do YouTube if you're not going to be around to do it? So,
well, yeah, or the 100 million other things that you do outside of it.
I don't know if anybody ever would sit. I don't know. Anyway, everybody's got their own way of doing things.
I'm waggling my waggly finger at you.
Yeah, well, don't let me waggle my waggly finger at you, because I could waggle at you for a very long time, sister.
No.
Yes.
No.
Anyway. So again, that's where it's at. I want to be honest and upfront with everybody. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the Sunday. I may move the time to a different time. I'm not sure what I'm doing with that. I'm still trying to decide that. But as of right now, it's on this Sunday. We'll see how it goes. So, and Dark Lord Men, it's going to waggle at both of us. So,
okay.
So let's have a little conversation about something, you and I.
Okay.
Foods are made differently between here and there. Would you not agree?
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely, they are.
Okay. You and I had a conversation before this started, and we were talking about a certain ingredient that's used in many countries that I know for a fact a lot of Americans don't eat on a general basis. Okay.
Right.
But I do know Britons do. I know. Yes, well, all of the islands do, to my knowledge, correct?
Most.
Okay.
But see, the thing is that many countries don't like the waste.
And there's a valid point in that.
Okay. And a lot of the countries like this, which still live a very traditional life, also don't want to encourage insects.
Right.
Okay. So they have to do something with the waste products of dispatching an animal, because they don't do it for no reason. They don't do it because, oh, we've run out of money. They do it because it's an occasion.
Right.
They don't, and they share it with everybody. Okay, so, and it's only really been since the 1950s that Westerners have got this idea in their head of the half a pig on every plate kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you mean large, extra large, or jumbo?
Yeah. Well, see, our large is what you guys call a small in McDonald's terms. Let's put it that way.
And that's a big difference.
That's a huge difference.
I notice a lot of restaurants have moved to larger plates. I notice, usually in a restaurant, to save money, you make a smaller plate so that the portion looks bigger. No, they just buy bigger plates and put more food on it now.
Yeah. I mean, like, we watch a channel, Beard Meets Food, on a fairly regular basis. And to be honest, I look at, I mean, okay, he's entertaining. But I also look at the kind of food challenges. And I think that could feed a family for that could feed an entire family.
Right.
Or, like mum, dad, and 4 children kind of thing. Not just mum and 2 kids. We're talking mum, dad, 4 kids, and possibly an uncle and aunt. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of look at it and I think, what are you doing?
Right.
It's got to be, it's like, there are people, and Beard is one of them, Adam is one of them, that goes around the world and he does all these challenges. He is a professional eater. And I don't know if anyone really understands the concept of that, but I think it started off with a hot dog eating contest, that's something like the World's Fair.
Yes.
Yeah. It started off as something like that, the hot dog eating contest or something like that.
Okay.
And now it's a thing. And it's complete insanity. The problem is that a lot of these places, the restaurants, want these guys to now go in there because it's now a boast, you know, and they have, the more professional eaters they have that have done their challenge, the more people are going to go to their restaurant in the hopes of possibly seeing one of these guys there, which the chances are pretty slim.
Right.
These guys have to do this 2 or 3 times a week to actually still be able to do it professionally.
So the hot dog eating contest started on July 4th, 1916 by 4 immigrants,
right,
who held it at Nathan's famous stand on Coney Island to settle an argument about who was most patriotic. Right. That's how it started.
Wow.
Yes. I guess that's better than picking up a gun and shooting each other. You know, I mean, there's that.
But, you know, I mean, like, you get it, you know, right. But it's like those kinds of competitions were one-off, and the ones at the state fairs and stuff like that, which were pie eating contests, they were a one-off, and they were, you know, cowboys basically measuring their belt buckles against each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know,
excuse me.
That's all it was, really. But now it's become this whole thing. And considering how many people we have living in poverty, how many people we have that aren't actually eating, the rise in food banks, the rise in destitution level poverty as well, it kind of makes me sick to my stomach that they're still doing these things.
Right.
Because it's like, yeah, but that could have fed that man. And I'm just kind of, I can't get
conceptualize the idea behind it.
Yeah, I can't.
I get it.
You know, I mean, these meals are like $75 to $80 on their own.
Well, and that's
for one person.
Right. I mean, it's like if you go into a restaurant and you do I remember there's a place called Thaddeus Thudpuckers. It was down in Spokane, which is a couple hours from us. And if you ate their 96-ounce ribeye steak, 3 baked potatoes, a salad, bread, a mini loaf of 2 loaves of bread, all the mashed potatoes and gravy, and the vegetables, and the you got $100 and your meal was paid for.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, even over here, I mean, like it and prices have skyrocketed. Don't get me wrong. But you can still go and get even just a takeaway if you wanted to for you and the family that's going to cost you around £30 to £40.
Right.
Problem is that most people at the moment, there's a lot of people over here at the moment that are having 20 quid to spend on the entire family to feed them all week.
Right.
So that's kind of a complete out of balance thing.
Right.
Annie just asked a question just then. Aren't there ingredients in American foods that are banned in other countries? There are over 200 other ingredients included in American foods that are banned in Australia and the UK and Europe. Yes.
Yes. There you go.
Yes.
Okay, but we got way off track. Let's go back to the ingredient we're talking
about. We did. Okay? I know. Gosh.
Okay, so the ingredient, no, you're fine. The ingredient we're talking about is
liquid crimsons,
or blood, as it's known to other people. Okay.
Yeah.
And so where the conversation went to. Okay. And BLOO is correct. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you the way she said it. Don't talk to me about blood sausage when you guys eat hot dogs.
Yeah.
And she's got a valid point.
Yeah.
It is really a valid point.
At least we know what's in a black pudding.
Right. Right.
Yeah, okay, we know what's in a black pudding. You guys do not have a clue what is in a hot dog.
No.
And most of you, and I would be one of them, also don't want to know what's in a hot dog.
I know what's in a hot dog. It's what we used to say all my life. And I'm going to cuss and I apologize, but it was lips and assholes. That's what we all knew it to be.
Yeah.
It was
exactly.
the part that wasn't used for other
anything else.
cuts of meat.
All of the other bits.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, what it comes down to is that I've been trying to figure out what I was going to do for a certain collaboration.
Correct.
But me being me, I didn't want to do it easy.
Why would you want to do it easy?
I don't know, but you and Ryan are co-hosting a collaboration together called The World's Your Dinner Plate. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I wasn't ready to go into that conversation yet.
Oh, well, tough. You're going to have to, because otherwise my story doesn't make no sense.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so to be part of that, what you have to do is you have to come up with a plate of food from a country that starts with the same name as your channel, or starts with the same letter as your channel name. Okay, so for me, it's B.
Pause. Oh, you can't see that, so never mind. Go ahead and keep talking. Go ahead. Sorry.
What is he doing?
Go ahead. Do what you need to. Sorry.
Okay, so you have to pick a country with the same, that starts with the same letter as your channel name. Mine starts with a B. So there are loads of countries that are really simple. Things like Bangladesh, which I cook with quite a lot. You know, I do a lot of Bangladeshi food. I've got friends who are Bangladeshi. I've got all sorts. You know, it's a really, really easy one for me to do. I didn't want that. I wanted a challenge. So I found these 3 countries, and one of them I hadn't even heard of. Another one I've only heard because of the Olympics for the last time I watched it, which was something like 24 years ago, because I don't watch the Olympics anymore. And the other one I haven't heard of since watching King Solomon's Mines, the movie. Right. So, you know, so we've got things like Burundi, Benin, and Burkina Faso. Now, so they're all African countries, which is cool. They're found in West Africa. They're around Rwanda and Togo and all of that kind of area, which people are more likely to have heard of, which is cool. No problem. So I'm trying to find those, but we also watch a channel called, what is it? The Best Food Review.
The Best Food Review, yeah.
Best Food Review with a guy.
I'll double check it, but I think that's what it is.
Yeah. And every time he goes to an African country, he ends up in a small village, slaughtering a goat and drinking its blood.
Yeah.
So when I went to Tanny and I said to him, I'm going to be doing this thing, and he's like, his face went pale. His face went pale, and he went, "You're not going to make me drink blood, are you?" This is the man who will sit there with a whole black pudding and just chew on it like it's a pepperoni sausage.
Right. So, best ever food review show.
Best ever food review, yeah.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure about that, but okay.
I'm looking at it right now. Best ever food review show.
No, I'm just mean. No, I don't. Yeah, no, okay. It was lost.
Okay. Anyways, I want to show everybody this. This is the thumbnail we will be using. So you ready for it?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
What do you think of that?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if I can put that up and pause it. I can't. No, it just goes through.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the theory is that we're asking channels that we're going to put the invite out to. And again, I'll preface this conversation with, If you're interested, email me saying, yes, I'm interested, and the country you want, because
no one's allowed to have the same country.
Do what?
No one's allowed the same country.
We're not allowing duplicate countries. Now, we may end up with duplicate dishes, but unfortunately, sometimes that is uncontrollable because of regions, areas, geographical locations.
And the fact that every country in the world has a chicken and rice dish.
Yes, they do. Okay.
Every country.
But it's called something different usually in each location.
Yeah, there are all sorts of different flavors. There's all sorts of different ways of doing it, but every country in the world has its own chicken and rice dish.
Right. Xander, are you okay with me telling people what you've chosen, just so I make sure I don't spill beans on you? I know I did Tuesday night, but I thought I should have asked him before I did that. So,
to be honest, I don't think they should be secrets, because it does stop other people from going, oh yeah, but I wanted that one, and it's like, no,
true.
I have it. It was already said.
Right. So the channels that'll be invited, you need to use your channel name, the first initial. So like mine's K, Kettle Kitchen. I have no choice. I'm stuck with the K. Okay. And what we're asking is that you display the country flag somewhere in your video so people know what it looks like, the flag. If you can get a map of it, that would be great. If you can't, that's not gonna stop anybody from getting it. And then we want at least 5 facts about that country that you've learned in the process of learning about the country. Okay. We have, are you ready for the lineup that we have so far? It's not many because we haven't put this out to, other than Tuesday night was the only time it was discussed. And then Wednesday night over on Ryan's, we talked a little bit about it. Okay. So as of right now, we have Ryan from Heavenly Hills Homestead is doing 80. Okay. Miss BLOO, did you come up with the decision?
Haven't come up with a decision yet.
Okay.
But it is one of those 3. It's either Burundi, Benin, or Burkina Faso.
Okay. Xander, Dark Lord Menet, will be doing Denmark.
Yay.
Yay. Stephanie, can I divulge the 2 choices you're thinking about, or would you rather me not? Stephanie's going to join as well. And I liked her choices, so I'm kind of curious to see whether I can say it or not. I remember one of them, but I can't remember the other one. I have somebody else as well. I'm not going to go digging through because it'd take me too far to find it, but somebody else has already agreed to do it. They've chosen their country, and then I'm doing. Okay. So I know one of her choices was Austria. That was one she was looking at. From a pinch of sweet. So she gets to pick A, P, O, or S. Okay. So Austria was one she was thinking about.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do Kuwait.
Wow. Yeah.
I've decided to do Kuwait. I've done a little bit of research. I'm ordering my rose water and my saffron.
Awesome.
And I will be making 3 main dishes, a side dish, and a dessert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it should be a meal, not just a plate.
Slovakian was her other option.
Slovakia. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Slovakia is cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, if anybody's in here that would be interested in doing that, you have till August to have your video out. I haven't got a calendar or anything set up.
These are the kinds of collaborations that get me excited.
Right. I love this one.
Because
his son was a brilliant thinker when he came up with this idea.
Because the kid is 12. He came to his dad with this idea and said, I don't know if you like this as an idea for a collab, but can we do this?
Yep.
And Ryan jumped on it because it is brilliant. And it is brilliant.
It is.
And I think all props to his son for this, because this is a fantastic idea. It's really good.
Yep.
It's good for teaching people about cultures. The one thing that everybody does that is all the same.
Right.
Okay. We're born, we grow up, we eat food, and we die. And we poop. And that is pretty much
and I think we all bleed the same
about.
too. So
hey?
We all bleed the same too.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that as well. Okay. But the point is that the one thing that we can all sit down and do together is eat. And the one thing that we can teach us more about a culture than anything else is their food.
Right.
And, it's,
you're 100% correct. I mean, I can't disagree with anything you said because you're right.
And I honestly think that more world issues would be sorted if they just sat down over a meal together and sorted it out. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
Rather than just throwing stones all the time and getting bigger stones.
So the conversation evolved a little bit on Wednesday night on Ryan's. If, in fact, we get enough involvement in this and it does carry over to multiple years, we're going to ask people not to repeat the countries that have already been done. So when you get a choice of your country and it's based off of a letter of your name, you're not going to be able to do the same one again.
Yeah.
Okay. Or
which for those of us who have sensible letters, like B, have about 12 different choices.
Right. And you do. Now, if we run into it, because there is in some examples where the letters don't apply or they're not going to be long enough to sustain 5 or 6 years, quote unquote, we will make accommodations to fit that person somehow, some way. We'll figure it out. So
okay, so there are no countries whose names start with a W or an X.
Well, there you go. So
however, okay, in Catalan, Chile and China start with an X in their language, and Cyprus starts with an X in their language.
So that would mean if you pick it, you could be a C or an X for Chile.
Yes, for Chile, China, or Cyprus, because their C is an X. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good information, though, and I can't argue that point with somebody if they put that out there. I know I'm an X, but so
yeah.
Anyways, I think it'll be good. Like? Huh?
Okay. So Lynn's just put in a question saying, what is British hamburger like? I'm gonna need some more context than that, darling, because you guys call hamburger what we call mince.
Our ground beef is your minced.
Yeah, so ground meat, but you guys call it hamburger, which I would imagine is ground pork. Is that minced pork?
No, it's usually it's ground beef.
Ground beef, right? Okay, so minced beef.
Minced beef. Yeah.
Yeah. So, or for us, a hamburger is a hamburger. So we don't really have any British hamburgers per se because they're all based on American ones.
Yes.
And so yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I don't call that a win personally, but okay.
Oh, no, don't be don't be dogging the show. You think you're all that in a bag of chips, do you?
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
That's why I got in here with the demo.
Excuse me.
I get that.
Yep. Okay, so I think the other thing that's good about this is that if people do it, what I feel would be the intriguing way to do it. Don't do, you could have went with Britain.
I could have, but it's not called Britain.
No, and I know that, but an argument could have been made. Well, everybody knows it as Britain, so I'm going to go with B for Britain, and I live there. I love that you didn't do that
Yeah.
because it almost seems like a cheater way to
Well,
use
it
the
is
country you
because
live
Britain
in.
isn't an official country name.
No, and I get that.
It's a collective name, or it's a smaller collective name of the United Kingdom, which is also not a country name. It's a collective name of the countries that make up Britain.
And actually,
so
Britain is
it's
England,
actually
is it
5
not?
countries, 6 countries, 7 possibly, right? So you've got England.
Okay, I'm listening, but hold.
Yeah. So you've got England, Ireland. You've got England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland. You've also got the Isle of Man, and you've got the Shetland Isles and the Scilly Isles. So they're all separate. They're all separate. I mean, like, they are kind of.
Okay. Will you just go with me for a second, please?
Yeah, okay.
You could have picked Britain. You chose not to. I think that's a cheater way out. If you live what you're going to do, it should be somewhere else. Give us knowledge. Work like the rest of us do.
Yeah.
You know, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to rain on your parade, but thanks for the explanation. Sorry.
Yeah. It's a good try, Xander. It's not quite Xander, but it's not quite there. But yeah, it's, yeah. So, Australia is not part of the United Kingdom, darling.
I think they think that it is because it's called the Commonwealth. No. And that's
Commonwealth is different. Commonwealth, hang on. Let me get this right.
It's a band of countries.
Yeah. Okay, so there are 56 member states of the Commonwealth, which are vast majorities of former territories of the British Empire. Okay. There's a lot of them.
Yes.
A lot of them. And they're all supposed to be like parts of, and I didn't know that. Oh, wow, that makes so much more sense now. I'm learning as I'm reading here. Okay, so yeah. That's okay. I know that, darling, and it was a good try, and I appreciate it. So it's all good. I wasn't making fun, I promise. So yeah, there are 56 independent countries, 33 of the world's 42 small states are Commonwealth members, each have a population of 1.5 million or less. Yeah, so the independent countries make up the Commonwealth in Africa, Asia, the Americas, Europe, and the Pacific.
So in a theory, and just hear me out on this, and you can correct me where I'm wrong by the end of it, okay? Mm-hmm. My understanding would be that the members of the Commonwealth would be like a NATO member, except they were former territories or ownerships of England at one time, correct?
They were colonized countries.
Colonized, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were colonized countries. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There is a lot of them.
Well, I remember at one point in time, wasn't there 73 or 75?
There was a lot of them. There was like, half the world in countries. Yeah. Now, do you want me to read you the list?
Sure.
Okay, so in Africa, there is Botswana, Cameroon, Gabon, the Gambia, Ghana, Kenya, Kingdom of Eswatini, Lesotho, Malawi, Mauritius, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, Rwanda, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Togo, Uganda, United Republic of Tanzania, and Zambia.
You read through all 56 of them already?
No, that's just the ones in India. So then you've got, the ones in Africa. Then you've got Asia, which is Bangladesh, Brunei, India, Malaysia, Maldives, Pakistan, it's Singapore, and Sri Lanka. And then you've got the Caribbean and Americas. So you've got Antigua and Buddha, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Canada, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Jamaica, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago. And then Europe, you've got Cyprus, Malta, and the United Kingdom. And then in the Pacific, there is Australia, Fiji, Kiribati, Nauru, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Samoa, Solomon Islands, Tonga, Tuvalu, and Vanuatu.
But I'm here till
Ta-da!
Tuesday. Oh.
Yes. So there's quite a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, no, Laurie, I have to admit, I think what we're watching at the moment is the basically what happened to the Roman Empire.
Yeah,
I don't think that just counts for the Commonwealth either. I think that counts for a lot of the Western civilization as we know it, to be honest. So, yeah.
Okay, so that all being said, hold on a second.
Yes, so there you go. That is the Commonwealth. It's slightly different. So, yeah, it's a collection. It's kind of like the European Union. It's kind of like, well, these days it's more like the European Union or NATO or the United Nations or something like that, where it's a collective of countries that every single one of them is entitled to use the Union Jack because it was a colonized country, and the only ones that do are still ones who still have the crown as their head of state. The ones who don't no longer do, but have chosen to stay within the Commonwealth, if that makes sense. So they're independent, but they've chosen to stay within the Commonwealth.
Right.
Yeah.
So my hope, and I mean, that's there you are, and you haven't even read a half of the countries out there.
No, that's a quarter of the countries. There's two of the countries.
Right. And my hope is that out of that more than 200 countries, that we will get a wide variety of different countries we do. And that's what I'm hearing alone already is a variation. So I'm liking the direction it's going. So
I'm loving the whole idea of being able to learn more about somebody else's culture, about culture that I didn't even know anything about.
Oh, hi, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
Sorry.
You know, I mean, one of those countries I didn't even know existed. Benin. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it either.
Yeah. Never, ever heard of it. Burkina Faso, I only knew because of the Olympics.
Right.
Or the Commonwealth Games. It could have been the Commonwealth Games. I don't know. One of them.
Right.
And, yeah, Burundi was featured in King Solomon's Mines.
Right.
You know, so the old one. From the 80s.
Sandy, we're talking about a collaboration that's coming up in August.
Mm-hmm.
And it is...
The World's Your Dinner Plate.
Yes. And so we will be putting hopefully 31 channels together to pick a dish and some information about a country that most of us may not know about. So
that starts with the same name as your channel name.
Yes.
Yes.
You have to give us a flag. You have to give us a map and at least 5 facts about the country you're talking about.
Yep. And no channel is allowed to copy the other channels.
No, not as far as
country. The countries.
Right.
So, yeah. So you have to get in quick.
Yeah. And first come, first serve. So those that, you know, want to join in.
I also thought that if there's more channels out there with a B name, I wanted to leave them with the easier ones because I'm quite happy to do the more, you know, out there kind of stuff, which is fine for me. I don't mind doing that, but for a lot of people learning about different cultures and stuff, it's probably easier and better for them to get something that's a little bit simpler and easier to do. Thankfully, I have friends in Africa who may actually be able to help out.
Good.
So, yeah.
So,
oh yeah, because that's that we have a couple that are coming up before that though.
we do. We'll get there in a second. So Sandy, if you're interested, just email me. Let me know what country you want to pick. In your case, sister, you got a lot of letters to pick from. You could pick an S country, an H country, a W country, or an A country. Okay. Because all those letters are capitalized in your name, channel name. Okay. For Jam, yes, I did. And that's a good segue right into that.
Isn't it?
Yes. So
I didn't realize it was that time already. How very rude.
Couple little tidbits of information I'll let you know about. Hello, Tiffany. Thank you for coming in. Today, the email went out inviting channels to Jam It Up June. Okay.
Yeah, they did.
This will be the third year that we are doing it, and this is co-hosted between BLOO and I both. I can announce something.
What?
I got confirmation today. 4 Jars Lids will be primary sponsoring Jam It Up June and Jar It Up July.
Yay!
Yes. So that meaning that they will provide most, if not all, of the items for our giveaway that we give at the end of each month. Okay.
Awesome.
I'm still waiting to find out if they're going to participate because they've gotten a lot busier than they were last year. And so I'm not.
They do have a test question though that they do that stuff. So, you know, it's possible.
It's highly possible. Yes, it is.
Highly possible.
The team is going to discuss it over the next week, and they'll get back to me to let me know for sure what the prizes are and whether they will be participating or not.
Okay.
I sent emails out to 66 channels because I know some of them aren't going to be able to, but I wanted to make sure that they got the invite. Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
So as those responses come in, it's going to fill up fast. I'm trying to keep it at 1 channel a day. Okay.
Yeah.
If there's more than that, we'll put them in where we can. Yes, Tiffany, everybody's watching the Northern Lights.
Yes. Everybody but me. I was sleeping through it.
Yes. Yes. So,
and for the first time ever that's on record, they could see them in Cornwall, which is the most tip of the UK.
Right.
And they will notice amazing colors.
That's awesome.
You.
Oh, that's funny, Lori. She got an email today, which was strange, from 4 Jars today, and she's never ordered from them.
Wow.
Interesting. Anyway, so that's the big news about it. I have 18 have already confirmed they will be in for Jam It Up.
Wales.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Sandy. Great.
Sandy, that's awesome.
Yes.
That is so cool.
I love it.
My Nana Lucy would be proud. I can't wait to see your video. I can't wait to see it. I actually have to finish my Nana Lucy's recipes series at some point this year. Yeah, because they're all Welsh recipes.
Oh, wow.
Well, I grew up in Wales.
I think that is so cool that you're doing that, actually. Though.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay, fantastic.
Oh, Annie's in too, and she would love to have China.
Okay.
We got to talk to her about that, though. Okay, so I'm looking at what I've got here.
Hang on, what?
Who are you talking to?
You.
Hold on a second.
Annie's in and wants China?
Yeah, we got to talk to her.
Yeah, I think that might be an idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, honey, you won't fail at your first attempt to make jam. You didn't see my first jamming up June recipe. I'm okay. So for anyone who thinks that, you know, everything has to be perfect and brilliant, okay, Very first jam at Up June is where I met this guy. He sent me a random email because he'd seen me talking to Lisa over at Yogi Hollow Farm. And I said to him, we don't do jam the way you do it. You might not like it. And you guys tend to get a little bit funny about our preserving methods, especially when it comes to jam. Yes, because we use what is called the open kettle method when it comes to jam, because our jams are 50% sugar and 50% fruit. So we don't need to have any of the other business going on.
He's talking lemon juice, pectins, things like that.
Yeah, we don't need any of that stuff going on. And we don't need any water bathing or any of that rubbish.
Excuse me.
That's bothersome, and we don't need it. Okay, so yeah.
Excuse me.
I had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It was my very first silent video, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because I couldn't speak.
She did quite well, I'm here to tell everybody.
Yeah, and I chose something that I actually did need pectin for. I had the pectin, couldn't find the pectin, so I ended up having to send Tanny out to go and get jam sugar, which I'd never used before, which apparently has the pectin in it. Which is the most ridiculous thing on the planet, because pectin gets destroyed after 10 minutes of boiling, and you have to boil the sugar for 10 to 15 minutes to dissolve it with Don't. It's fine. So I ended up with this really nice ginger. Instead of having like a ginger marmalade, I had a really nice ginger syrup, and that's fine. Don't worry about it.
And it worked out. It's okay. But
it worked out. It's fine. It's still in my cupboard.
Right. Tiffany, you can do a freezer jam. Freezer jams are acceptable. You don't have to can it. A matter of fact, I've got somebody that's talking about doing something that goes in your refrigerator once it's done.
Well, Lisa's done freezer jam, so it's
right. You know. It doesn't have to be preserved. Okay.
No. I was thinking of doing something really different this year. I don't know what, but I'll think of something.
There you go. Lori says put it on pancakes.
Look, I tell you what, this stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
When you've got sore throats or if you've got stomach issues. I actually use some of it with some soda water at this time of the year and put it like over ice with soda water, and I've got like a ready-made almost ginger beer type thing going on, and it's just lush. That's you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Sandy sent me an email. Sandy, I'm not telling people what they can and can't make this time around. I'm just asking that you don't repeat something you may have already done yourself.
Yeah.
But if somebody else did it and you want to have a crack at it, then go for it. I'm not going to limit people on that. I think we talked about that before. We didn't want to.
Do whatever you like. We don't care.
Right. Right. So,
just be slow for God.
So that's going on right now, and that stuff's coming in. Then we have Jarred Up July.
Yes, we do.
So why don't you talk about Jarred Up July so I can go use the restroom, because I can't wait, please.
Okay, so Jarred Up July is for everybody who maybe not a canner, who maybe not into jam, who is just learning about, putting things in a jar. So you can have dried things, you can have, freeze-dried things if you're lucky enough to have a freeze dryer. You can do whatever you like, but it's finding ways of using your jars. Now, if you have very special jars, you can talk about your jar, those kind of things. You can tell the history of your jars or whatever. You can do meals in a jar. You can do whatever you like, but we're not talking about, can I put hubby in a jar? I didn't know you had a shrink ray, Tiff. That's all I'm saying. I can't. Yeah.
Okay, that's funny right there.
Yeah, it really is. So yeah. But yeah, it's so beginners can start putting things in jars. So it's not about, whatever. It's so that everyone can join in. You don't
What
have
we don't want that you put oil in a jar or gasoline in a jar or a chemical in a jar per se.
No.
So.
No.
Yeah. We had somebody, if I remember correctly, that did it last year and showed her entire collection of old jars.
Yes.
So
we had a couple of those last year, and we had a couple of them the year before, which is kind of cool.
Yes. Tiffany just sent me an email, and in the subject, make sure it says "Jar It Up July," and that way I can let it go.
Yeah. See, we buy a very specific brand of coffee.
Yes.
For the jars, because they supply a reusable airtight container, which are absolutely stunning. Do you want me to grab one?
Yeah, please.
Okay, yes. I'll give me two seconds.
Okay. So I see Love the Land Homestead has joined us. Thank you for coming in. I haven't seen you before. And this is the whole point, is trying to be able to be part of a collaboration that is not limited by cooking or canning or whatever, because a lot of us use jars for different things. So it's important we feel it's important for everybody to have a chance to be involved. That one kind of fills up fast as well, just because the subject matter behind it is so easy to fulfill. So if you're interested, let me know as soon as you can, so we can do what we need to do. Oh, it sounds like she's back.
Okay. They have 4 different sizes.
Right.
Okay. This is the generalized size that you can get. That's the normal kind of size, right?
Here, let me zoom you up so they can see it. Sorry.
Okay, so that's your normal kind of size. This one just happens to have maca powder in it. Yeah, that's your normal size one there.
Right.
This one, I believe, had a special variety in it. So it's slightly smaller, but I don't have very many of those. So I don't know if that one's still available or not. That's my home dried strawberries.
Right.
These ones are the special edition caramel coffee and flavored coffees and stuff like that. I don't buy these very often because they're really quite expensive for what they are, but they're quite useful for putting little sort of herbs and spices and stuff in that one. That one just happens to be garam masala. And then
which I need some of that. Can you send me a package of that, please?
Can you not make it?
I can make it. I'm joking.
Okay. Then you got this one. Okay, so I'm not going to show you the name of the coffee because, now in Australia, I know it's called Moccona, and over here it's called like Dow Egberts, but it's the same stuff.
Right.
So we've got this size is the even bigger size to that size. So that one at the moment is £7 in money. This one is 12. And it's double the size of this one. So we're getting this one, which means that I can put a whole load of bigger things in it. They are beautiful jars. These are the lids. Okay, so they come off in 2 parts.
Right.
And which makes it really good for cleaning. And it comes apart like that. So then if you wanted to, if you're using these in the bathroom, I've been known to put cotton balls in there.
Right.
To show people what's supposed to be in that bag.
Right.
Okay. Or you can put the bugs or whatever you've got in there, have one of them in the top of the jar. It's just a really good way of doing it, I thought. So yeah, all of the jars come with that kind of lid. But it's the only coffee that does it. All of the others have got plastic tops.
No.
Which means that they're not properly airtight for doing things like this. Now, my probably 90% of my herb and spice jars are these.
Okay. Which makes sense. It does.
Yeah. Yeah.
I seen Arena LaRue, I think it was. Yeah, she asked, are there any other collabs this month? The only one I know about is Healthy Snacks 24, and that one's put on by Tammy over at Mountain Grandma.
Yeah.
But a good place to go look would be Gail Southern Living, because Gail does put those out.
Oh yeah, and also Heather over at
Farms.
Yeah.
And then also there is I'm trying to remember what his name is.
Bring me down now, please, because you can see right up my nose.
Oh, well, as long as you ain't picking it, I guess you'll be okay. Okay.
Maybe I wanted to.
Second, I'm looking for his channel name.
See, now I don't mind. They are very nice jars, and I really love them.
Oh, good.
You don't mind what?
I don't mind paying a little bit extra for them for the jar, because those kinds of jars,
yeah,
they're worth $6 to $10 each. If
right.
you're doing something like that, you know, from a jar place, they're very expensive jars. So I'm more than happy to spend a little bit more on the coffee just for the jar. Are they nicer coffees?
Right.
Does it matter? No.
Yeah.
Did somebody open that thing for those people?
Yes, she does have one for Gail does have an open collaboration for
we're on live.
Garden tours. I think it's a garden tour one.
Right.
And there's quite a few other ones that are going on. The other place to look would be Hillbilly Chicken Ranch.
Okay.
Yes.
I think she's got a few going on. She's got a cleaning products one going on. I do know that. Okay. That's an open collab. I know Heather's actually got a few herself, to be honest.
Yes.
And I think one's a hot and cold drinks one.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of other ones as well. So yeah, go have a look.
Oh, yeah. So and Xander also listed
as well.
Sorry, go ahead.
Tina over at Life of the Peenbon.
Okay.
She will have a few as well. So yeah.
Okay. So Xander put up what I was looking for, which was Webb's Web has a link, and he's got it up in there. And that is, I believe, for live shows. So that'll help you as far as be connected to the channels that do lives. Okay.
Okay.
So that helps too. Anyways, so
okay.
It's just information, FYI kind of stuff.
All right.
Anyway, so that's what we got going on. And then, you know, after we get through August, because then we'll have the one with Ryan and his son, we basically move right back into normal collaboration time. So, which is September, October, November, December, January. So,
yeah, I have one video that's coming out on the 22nd.
Okay.
And I will be doing my very first live in the last 2 months on the 24th.
On the 24th?
On the 24th. I was going to do it on the 31st, but I'm going to do it on the 24th. I'm not doing it on the 31st because that is Bam's birthday.
Oh, yeah, let's not do that.
So I'm not doing it on then. So on the 24th, you'll be finding exactly out what is going on. And with my channel and what's been happening and what's about to happen, because it is awesome.
Yes. And then
I think it's awesome. Everyone else will be going, oh my God, not her again.
Sandy also posted this up that Nancy at our treasured home has.
Yes, she does. Well, so. She does. Yeah.
And really, I mean, if
think of her name just then, and I feel really bad because I can never remember her name. I feel really bad.
Like
and she follows me a lot on Instagram, and I felt really awful because I can never remember her name.
I got an eyelash trying to go back in my eye and it's bugging me.
No.
Sorry. we're very much about promoting other channels, and especially if they're putting information out like collaborations or live shows or whatever. By all means, please go ahead and hit us up. I have no issue with putting that out there to help support the channel. So
that would be awesome.
We don't get enough information. We tried to do a master list, but that gets changed all the time, and that was really hard to stay up with. And getting literally the information from people, that was hard to do too. So
yeah, exactly. So
yes, Sander, I know, but I got
on the list. Some people didn't want to be on the list, and then they wanted to change things, and it was like, okay,
right,
it's getting a bit much now.
Yeah.
However, I don't know. Am I allowed to talk about Dawn?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we have a big supporter lady called Dawn.
Xander, when she gives you the channel name, will you please put the link up for me?
Yeah. She runs several channels, but her main one is My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus, or it's New Beginnings, My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus. It's quite a long name, but if you want a shortcut to find it, I would go to my community page, Xander, because I shared her post on this. Okay, now they live in an abandoned village in Cyprus. There's a lot of people doing this now in Europe because it's the cheapest way to buy a house, it's the cheapest way to get land, and it's a lot cheaper living than, say, someone here. Yeah, that's the one. So they struggle. I mean, she's disabled. He's her full-time carer. He's obviously getting on as well. You know, things are...
Yes, Sander, that is correct.
Yeah, that's it, love. Yeah. So they do what they can, and they have no real other income. The only other income they had was from a rental property that they still owned in the town. Okay, so it was, you know, rented out to tourists, etc.
Right.
However, last year, the government made a decision to change how the property lines were laid out and decided to put it on a grid system rather than do what had been done for millennia, which were basically white rocks at the corners of each property. So instead of lining up those rocks, what he did was just do a grid, and it cut their garden in half right through their swimming pool, which she uses for physio so that she can keep walking, because if she doesn't have that physio, she won't be able to walk. Okay.
Right.
Now, what they also did was extend out. They also ended up with the other part of the property line ended up on their front door. Literally on their front door. So they stepped out of their front door, they'd be on somebody else's property. So they had to change where their front door was so that they could have access to their own property,
right,
without having to pay the neighbors to be able to get into their front door. Okay. But then the government decided, oh yeah, to make up for that, we'll give you this bit of land, which turned out to be the main road.
Yeah.
So that was helpful.
No,
so they did all of that, but they sold their property, their rental property, to be able to have a little bit of cash to be able to pay the neighbor for some land to get their garden back. Now they eat everything they grow. That is basically their main food source, is what they grow.
Right.
This year, what has happened is that they have an irrigation tank which is filled up by their bore water well.
Okay, so key, I want everybody to remember what you said.
Yes.
Everything they eat primarily comes out of their garden or what is grown on their property.
Because they have no money otherwise. You know, this is literally how they have to live right now.
Right.
So they're coming up to the hot water season, and their irrigation tank, which has been kind of crumbling for a lot of years, has a lot of root damage, that kind of stuff, but they've been able to keep on top of it.
Right.
Now is at a point where it cannot be filled. unless it has a lifetime liner put in. Now that's going to cost them quite a lot of money. It's going to cost them, I think, something like 4,000 euros, which is about $4,500.
Right.
Okay. Which means that they don't have water except from the bore tap to water the gardens, the veg gardens, which are set up from the irrigation tank. This was fine until about 2 weeks into this situation, or about a week or 2 weeks into the situation where the pump gave out. So they have no water at all. Apart from what they can get from the spring in the mountain collecting containers. Now you have to remember that she is severely disabled. Her body will not cope. She has lupus. She has another illness that causes her to drop into comas without any kind of warning. She's got major brain injuries because of all of this. Mike is desperately trying to keep up with it all. They cannot sell the property because there is no water. So they would have to sell it as land with a house on it, which means that they would get no money for it at all.
And Mike is also disabled or has injuries as well, correct?
He's getting on, love. He's in his 60s. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, I mean, I know 60 is the new 40 and all of this kind of stuff, but honestly, they've been working their butts off trying to do this for years now, and it's at a point, and it's not just that, but then there is a third concern, that the generator, which is probably from the 50s or 60s, also runs the pump when it's working, looks like it's going to blow up, and they will have to replace it.
Right.
Okay, so I am working this weekend to set up a GoFundMe for them. Right now, if you want to help them in any way, what you can do is go and run her playlists. That would be fantastic, especially for her lives and things, because they are like an hour long and stuff. It's really, really important. She does have a PayPal that you can directly donate to if you can do that. But getting her message out, these are people who are working their butts off just to have a life.
Right.
They have no income. Because she lives in Cyprus, she's not entitled to any sort of disability payments or anything like that. They got none. They don't have passports anymore because they couldn't afford them. They can't leave the country. They can't go anywhere. They can't do anything. They are literally on their butts. And the only way to get them out is to fix at least the water pump right now. Which is going to cost 3,500 euros to do it. So she has 4,000 subscribers. Okay, we all know she has 4,000 subscribers. That's great. And if everybody donated $2 to her, she would be able to do this and get a generator as well. Sorted, no problem. The problem is that even if you have 4,000 subs, you're never going to get 4,000 people involved in something like this.
Right.
Okay, but the more people we can get involved, the better it's going to be. Now, I will be putting the GoFundMe out next week. I'm trying to get hold of her again because I need more information. Thank you, Sandy. That's very sweet of you, love. But yeah, this is the genuinely scary side of off-grid living. It's great to do it on a budget. We can all do it on a budget, but you also have to have some kind of nest egg put away for situations like this. Okay, it's all very well having, you know, this or that going on and we eat off the land and all that kind of stuff. But if you've got no water, you've got nothing. Now, they're coming into their hot season, their summer season. There is no way that the garden will survive where it is without water, which means that they will not survive without water. They can get whatever they can from the spring, and they do get woofer volunteers come in. They can't get them because they've got no water.
They're not allowed to have the volunteers.
You're
without
not allowed to have
water.
anyone on the property apart from themselves because they have no water.
Right.
This is a major, major issue. And off-grid living, great, fabulous, wonderful if you've got water, but you don't have water, you're kind of screwed. And that's the situation they find themselves. And it is quite a serious, very, very serious situation. And I wouldn't ask for help for her if it wasn't, because this is basically life and death at this point.
For them, it is. Yes.
And it is.
Yeah.
And to be honest, 7,000 euros is not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things when you think about it. But when you don't have any,
it seems like
maybe it may as well be 7 million. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But they are good people.
Right.
They want to set up their property so that it can be an Airbnb and all sorts of other things so that they can have that income.
Right.
You know, so I am going to set up this GoFundMe. Sandy has very kindly put the link into Dawn's PayPal so that it can go directly to her through that. If you can donate, that would be fantastic, because right now every little bit counts.
Yeah,
it really, really does.
I see Tammy Mountain Grandma's joined us.
Hey, Tammy.
We've been talking about you a little bit tonight.
We have.
We announced
morning, I bet.
Yeah, we announced your collaboration. So
we did.
Hopefully people watch it.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I've got to do my video for the 22nd, which is next Wednesday. Oh, no, a week on Wednesday.
Ew.
I ain't telling you nothing.
Oh, is that the way you're going to be?
Yeah, that's the way I'm going to be. I ain't telling you nothing.
Really? You want to be like that?
Yeah, I'm going to be like that.
Okay, you be like that then.
I'm the queen bee. I'm the queen bee. I'm the queen bee. I'm the queen bee.
I still love this. Is still my
clue I'm going to give you is it's a healthy snack.
Yeah, and it's 2024, right?
Yeah.
So there's 2 clues you gave.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, 3 clues. It'll be on your channel.
3 clues. Yep. Yep. Okay, Sandy, have an awesome one, darling. Enjoy them. They are spectacular from the pictures that I've seen.
Yeah, have fun.
Unfortunately, I missed them.
Yeah, because your night's already over.
Well, it's the middle of my night when they were happening, because they happened between 11 p.m. last night and 11:36, apparently.
My point is, your night's already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already daylight out there, and it's only 5 in the morning. It's like full on daylight. So it's been full on daylight since about 4 o'clock this morning. And yeah.
Do you have to have a PayPal account to donate?
No.
Okay.
No. No, you don't.
All right. We're calling it a night, guys.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you for everybody modded. Dark Lord, thank you very much. Oh, by the way, send out a special thought to Nanny Tam. She's not feeling very well. So.
Oh, I thought she was missing.
Yeah, she's missing. So we want to make sure we reach out to her. Heather, you just.
Oh, my God. Hugs.
Be good and be safe, and we'll see you next time, guys.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.